Hello. Welcome back to my live. Today we'll be talking about all the bullshit. Just kidding. I'm very tired. I hope you guys are doing good tonight. Yeah. It's late. I just posted a video of some guy acting absolutely ridiculous, and it took me forever to figure out whether or not it was real. Absolutely forever. Like, I don't understand how he's gonna, like, have the keys thrown at him, tossed. Not even thrown, tossed at him. And he's gonna be like, you're abusive. And then he, like, whips an orange at this girl. Like, what? What in God's name is going through your mind? Anyways, in my last live, hard to tell if it was real. He was so dramatic. I know, I had to watch about 7 times. And what I've deduced is that, first of all, his face got, like, really fucking red. Like, really red. Like, if you didn't notice, like, he was, like, red. Also, the girl's face at the end, where she was just, like, you could really see she was just, like, at the end, that's what makes me, like, deduce the fact that it was probably real. Especially his face. So red. I don't do OnlyFans. I only have, I have a Patreon. I know that there was a few people in my last live that said that they saw my live with Aunt Karen and a few of these other people. Just came across you a few days ago. I love your content. I also came across some videos saying you were chameleon, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah, if it's a think before you sleep guy, I have a whole nother conversation about that. Have you ever seen a Super Mario Logan video? No, my baby just moved though. Hello. Boop, 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 boop. Oh. Oh shit. Yo, they poked my back. Boop, boop, boop. No pokes. That was crazy. That's the second time. That's only the second time that I felt them, like, react, like, respond to me. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Congrats. Thank you. But yeah, let me know if you saw that interview, if you have any comments, concerns. For those that don't know what I was talking about, there's a channel, there's a page. It's called, like, Fake News something. And, like, personally, typically, I don't take pages called fake news seriously. But this page is actually really good, and they talk about false allegations and stuff like that. And they really allow, like, you know, men to give their perspective as well. And yeah, it's really, really interesting. It's pretty interesting. I was pretty glad to be a part of it. I want to see that video again. Yeah, it should be posted. Whoa, really? Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't talk about false allegations as much. Not because I don't believe that it's a prominent issue, because I damn well know that it is. However, first of all, there's a shockingly low amount of number of actual rapists that go to jail. We have not mastered the judicial system when it comes to that stuff. First of all. So it just feels, like, I don't know. It feels like advocating against, like, you know, children who lie about molestation because, like, there are kids that do it, but knowing that there are so many, such as myself, who, like, were molested but, like, weren't believed, like, it would be very hard to speak on that thing. So what I'm saying is like, the biggest reason why I have a hard time speaking about it is because I haven't found the balance between talking about false allegations in a way that's not negating from the fact that there's an actual problem out there with rape culture. Like, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, we also have to understand that, like,
Someone's yelling.
I'm going home too. That's my home. No, it's not. I think one thing that's not spoken about with false allegations is like really both sides. I think the men's rights community doesn't do a good job of acknowledging how little rape victims like actually get justice. And I think that the feminist community does a really bad job of acknowledging that false allegations happen. Because if there's anything that I've learned is that men who have experienced false allegations and had their life ripped up because of it have a very similar emotional reaction as people who have like not been believed. I'm not saying the person who was raped, I'm not comparing false allegations to like actually being raped. I'm talking about the emotional effect of like not being believed, because at the end of the day, like both parties aren't really being believed. And I think that we need to be able to have a conversation about it, but also like not negate each other's issues. Like women need to be able to say, yeah, like false allegations definitely happen and we understand what it's like not being believed. So we need to like find a level with men where it's like, you guys aren't being believed in these situations as well. But it's really hard because like you never want to make a judgment about somebody's situation just in case you're wrong, right? And it's like you can literally place that ideology on both sides. So it's like, where do we come to a point where victims can talk about sexual assault, they can talk about their stories and not have, rape culture essentially perpetuated towards them. But also where we can say like, we acknowledge that so many false allegations happen, and just move forward from there. Like, it's really hard. I'm really sorry, Richard. Yeah, like I had many false allegations against me. I talked about it in like the first episode of my podcast or the second one. Will you ever make a video on and the reproducing is immoral? Huh? I'm pregnant, so I don't understand. Why does it only matter if women are sexually assaulted? Yeah, I think like another thing too is that like men get sexually assaulted all the time and like they're not believed. And I think that sometimes we have to realize that like a lot of the times we're fish in water. And what that means is like you wouldn't know what it'd be like to be out of water because like you've been in your bowl this whole time. And if men have been used to being told like you can't be sexually assaulted, if things happen to you, it's your fault. If you say this happened, we don't believe you. Like, can we really sit there and be so surprised when that's the message that they're projecting onto other people? Having false allegations aside, like I'm not saying that that's, the whole reason. But, I think it's worth discussing, like, is this contributing to maybe why this is happening? But I think the first step is I think we really need to acknowledge that false allegations happen. And I think that we need to put some bigger steps in place, not only to persecute actual, sexual assailants, but also catch the ones who are lying. And I think sometimes, like, I don't know how it is in the US, but like in Canada, I know for a fact that like my boyfriend can't just come hang out with me and then I call the police and be like, he raped me, and then have him go to jail. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I know for a fact that it doesn't work like that because I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my YouTube video, like I was like sexually assaulted upstairs, like not too long ago, not by my partner. It was like when I was practicing polyamory. And I think I talked about it a little bit. Don't want to talk about it too much. But like, and I called the police and like, Buddy's still not in jail. And I still did the whole thing. I did the rape kit and everything like that. Like that stuff takes time. And, like I haven't name dropped him or anything. just because like he wasn't convicted. And I think like if someone was like convicted and then like released and like, you know, is showing that they're possibly like a huge risk, like I don't know, I just think it's so individual, so I'm just not willing to name drop them. It makes me uncomfortable. But you know, I would be really hurt if people were like, oh, you're lying, oh, you made that up, you're just looking for attention. It's like, well, what the fuck do I have to gain? Nothing. Guys get sexually assaulted and harassed. It's like, oh, well, they probably liked it. Exactly. And that's a huge part of rape culture as well. Like, rape culture isn't just a gender issue. Like, men also very much deal with the, you know, effects of rape culture. And men perpetuate it onto each other a lot of the times as well. Like, we hear it when, you know, a guy says, oh, I was preyed on by, like, my teacher. Or this, like, fucking 30-year-old woman in the neighborhood when I was 14. And, you know, you'll have other dudes be like, oh, I wish that happened to me. You know, and it's like, I was a victim. Like, I was a child. I was too young to really understand sexuality. And it's like other guys will perpetuate it onto men as well. And it's just, it's really, really sad. I think there needs to be bigger conversations about men being sexually assaulted. And I think we need to support men in going through the process of persecuting their rapists. And I think one thing that's like really hard is that, you know, rape is like so fucking hard to prove. And rapists like literally do that on purpose, right? Like they do it on purpose. They're not going to make sure that there's a room to see you, or, you know, it's recorded on a device. Like that really rarely happens, right? And so they'll almost always put you in a situation where it's he said, she said. And, you know, guys, exact same thing. You know, guys are often sexually assaulted where like, you know, they'll put the girl to sleep on the couch because she's drunk, and he'll go to his bedroom and he'll wake up and she's like right there doing something. And it's like, well, like that's rape. You didn't ask for his consent. Not only that, but she's drunk, and that puts the dude in a very dangerous situation, very dangerous, where anything could be said. And she's inebriated. So like half the time, how the fuck would she know? Like I would just pull my cell phone out and start recording at that point. I would like, I just think as women, I think we fail to understand like actually what a dangerous world it can be for guys when it comes to false allegations. And it's almost like, and being sexually assaulted as well. And it's like just as big as it is for us. And the problem is that it's not being acknowledged. And I think that's why men aren't really showing a lot of like care or understanding. And it's like, well, if you're not going to allow me to be a part of the Me Too movement, how do you expect me to support you? You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's necessarily right, but like everybody's a human being. But that's my 2 cents. Anyways, I think I'm going to go to bed. I hope you guys do really good. Let me know if you guys want to continue this conversation in the comments. I'll be up for a little bit. Yeah, thanks for having this conversation. And I'm really sorry to everybody in this chat that has experienced a false allegation. It's really, really fucked up. And I'm really sorry that you went through that. And I hope that you've been able to heal and get the support that you need. And if you felt like you haven't gotten the support that you've needed elsewhere, just understand that like you definitely have it here. And like all, you know, victims as well of, you know, like sexual assault or rape, like man or woman, like we definitely stand with you as well. So we stand with both like victims and the victims of falsely accused. I hope you guys have a really good night. And I'm really glad we had this conversation. Mwah! Thank you.